I am Michelle Dunlap, and I am the lead pastor at Grace Lutheran Church in Abilene, Texas. And I was ordained in September of 2018.
And why don't you start out, Leslie, by telling us about your call to ministry?
When I was originally called, I was medically retired from the Air Force, and I was at home, not doing much of anything except taking care of my parents. And I was talked to about going to parish lay ministry. And so I went through Parish Lay Ministry Academy. I was told, you have all the time in the world to read. And so I did, and thought, okay, that's good. I'm good with that. I did some pulpit supply, and I enjoyed getting the knowledge, and thought, okay, you're welcome, God. I listened to you that time. And then I was reminded over and over, night after night, that I wasn't done yet. And he placed me at Grace Abilene, and they were in need of a pastor. And they were in agreement with seeing me through the team program. So I went through the team program, and it's been a joy. It's been terrifying, but I think I'm right where I need to be. I get to sleep at night again. He doesn't talk to me a lot.
And how do you see God at work in women today? All women in all settings. What are you seeing God doing?
I see God always with us, with women, with men also. I see them speaking out more, being braver and bolder, and knowing that they can have the courage to speak up when they need to. I see younger women saying no to how many patients they get on a shift, or how many, whatever. And we never would have done that. We just took what they gave us and bore through. But I see them being brave enough to say, no, that's not safe, and I'm not doing it. And I feel God gives them the strength to stand up for things that they really believe is best for everyone.
Were there women who inspired you when you were considering ordained ministry, and women that you're aware of that you inspire?
There were definitely women that inspired me. First, Pastor Joanne Swahowski. She would come over and visit me when I was a shut-in, and she would talk to me about parish lay ministry, and she convinced me that I had plenty of time to read, and that's what I would be doing, and she was not wrong. And then Pastor Diane Eggemeyer was my pastor at one point, and she gave me a postcard from PLTS, Pacific Lutheran Theological Seminary, out in Berkeley, California. And I said, oh, that's pretty, that's neat. Oh, that's where you went, pretty cool. And I handed it back. She goes, no, keep it, you're gonna be there someday. And I laid it down real quick, and it kept showing back up in my possession. And I think with her encouragement and God helping her continue pushing and pulling and dragging, that was very helpful. And just to know, she walked these steps before I did. I see the women who walked all of these steps, who fought hard to be able to serve our Lord, and that inspires me. Are there any that I hope there's a lot of women, I hope there's a lot of young women who see me at my age and the condition I was in when I started. I was on a walker. I wasn't able to do anything. And now they see me and they're like, it's like anyone can follow your calling. You can. You just have to have the courage and the stamina and someone cheering you on, and you can do it. It's pretty neat. I'm the first female pastor at Grace, and they said they waited too long to try a female pastor because there's a difference in what they feel they needed and what I'm able to provide. So.
And following up on that, are there things that you think being a woman, how does that shape or influence your ministry in a particular way?
The empathy, the willingness to sit down and listen and not talk to, but listen to, makes a difference. I'm able to hear their stories. They're not afraid to tell me their stories. And from the 85-year-olds to the 8-year-olds, they have stories and they're willing to share. I think with me more because I am a woman, some things they wouldn't share with a man.
You mentioned that you were in the military service.
Yes.
I don't know if you had other careers in addition to that, but I'm wondering how did your time in the military or other careers or areas of work, how did they help prepare you for ministry, or what did you learn that you're applying in ministry?
That's probably a large part of it. Before I went into the Air Force, I was a licensed vocational nurse. Then I went into the Air Force and I became a paramedic. Always in patient care, always in an instance where I needed to listen. I needed them to tell me what was going on with their lives. And even back then, when I had no idea I'd be going into the ministry, God used me then. I remember being out on the side of a highway in the middle of nowhere with a young man, and his brains are partially in my hand, and he's crying because he said his mom was going to be so disappointed that he didn't get baptized. And I grew up in church. I've heard the words for baptism. Were they perfect? No, but you know what? I baptized him on the side of the road, and I was able to tell his mom that he was baptized before he passed away. And that meant a lot. I was told by my pastor at the time, he said, well, it didn't count, but at least it made him feel better. But God and I know it counted.
Oh, yeah. It
So, it was a long time ago, but those kind of things were said. Those kind of things are still said sometimes.
Do female images of God play a role in your theology or your ministry at all? And if so, maybe how?
We're entering into that slowly. Over the last 5 years, I do use the image of a mothering God. For some of the older congregational members, it was a little, what? But they're accepting it. They're starting to see it and realize the nurturing God that we have, the one that loves every one of us so much. And just like a mother would. And also the kind of playful, mysterious, mischievous, because God can be. I'm a pastor now. It's obvious he can be mischievous. She can be mischievous. Anything can happen. And that mystery and that excitement and that love, they're starting to see that. They've seen it in their life, and they've always been like, well, I don't think it was really God because it was too serious. It wasn't serious like God would be. They would see God as stern, and they're seeing less of that sternness through seeing God as a feminine mystic.